Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Like and share this post. I'm really excited today with my guest and the premiere of Dante's Harmony. Y'all come on in. Like and share this post. As you come in, make sure you type your name in the comment section and definitely rep your city. Let me know exactly where you are streaming from, and love to meet some of my virtual audience out here on the Agape's Dante's Harmony. Dante's Harmony. Well. Good evening, everybody. I am so excited for my premiere. My premiere. Yeah. My premiere. Yeah. Dante's Harmony. And here we are. And I'm really excited, especially for my first guest that I have on today. But I want to first start and let you know who I am. I am Dante Harmon, and I am your host here today on Dante's Harmony. I just want to give you a little bit of information. If you are wanting to follow me, you can follow me on all of my platforms at Dante Harmon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and on YouTube, where I am streaming right now live. So for those of you that are watching, it is I'm so happy, first of all, to have you here. And it's so good to have you on my first broadcast of Dante's Harmony. So a little bit about me. I'm really stoked and just excited about everything that's getting ready to happen with this new podcast and this new platform. What is Dante's Harmony? It's my catch-on words. My name is Dante Harmon. You know, I added the harmony at the end. Why? Music is like my life. Something that I've been involved in since I was 2 years old in my grandmother's kitchen. And it has just been so unique, so different to be in an element where I'm able to do something and to be involved in something that really gets me motivated. And some of those things, music, mentoring, something that I do on a daily basis, and motivating. I'll tell the story about a young lady I met when I was doing a speech at a local middle school who heard me do a talk motivating young people to stay in school and do the right thing and stay off drugs and watch the company that you keep and so on and so forth. After the speech, I ended with a story from Portia Nelson, who does this five chapter autobiography that I did, and it really stuck with her. And at the end of the actual talk that I did, it moved her to the point that the next day, the principal of the school that she attends contacted me, said, "We're sending something via inner office to you, and we think you would benefit from seeing what it is that we're getting ready to send." And lo and behold, I received a letter from this young lady stating that she no longer wanted to cut herself. She no longer wanted to cut herself. She was moved by the speech that I gave. She was moved by the words and the encouragement that I was giving her, and she no longer wanted to do that. That did something to me, and then I'm sitting in my office, I'm bawling, tears coming out of my eyes because, like, wow, like this actually just happened. But it stuck with me because I realized that there's something that I have that somebody else needs. So in that, I started mentoring, and I came out with a project called Affirm It. Go to iTunes, go to my website, www.danteharmon.com, and you can download that information, affirm it. It is a affirmation CD that I'm so proud of, and really excited to have and to share with you all. So tell me what you think. Download the project. Definitely leave comments about what you thought and which track resonated with you the most. So I'm really excited about Dante's Harmony, and I'm so excited about the future guest that I'm going to have. I'm so excited about the current guest that I have today, and you guys will be too. But I am going to just be sticking with the theme: music, mentoring, and motivation, because I think that's key for me in delivering that aspect of what people really need. They need to know what this whole sacred steel genre of music is all about. And I want to help a lot of young musicians who are coming up, and we're going to deal with mentoring, not only just musicians, not only just artists or inspiring musicians, but anybody that's interested in just starting entrepreneurship, or somebody is interested in starting their own business, and mentoring them in how to do it and what to do it, and having professionals come on to talk about it, and motivating you into staying the course. It is really hard to start something on your own and stay encouraged to do it. It's hard. It's not easy. It is not easy. It's not easy. So it is really going to be an encouraging thing to really do. And I'm excited to have this platform to be able to do it. So today I am really stoked. Why am I so stoked? I have a guest with me. Before I bring him on and before I start talking about him, I really want to kind of premise, and when we start talking, we'll probably have the conversation. But we actually have something in common that we share, and we'll bring it up. I'll bring it up in our conversation. And it is so unique and cool when you bring on someone that I've seen grow up as a young person and is really flourished as a musician. What's so ironic with my guest on today is I played drums with his grandfather. I played alongside his father, and I had the privilege to playing alongside and watching him play live in front of massive audiences, and just watching him do all kind of feats and videos and just things that he's involved in. I'm so excited for my guest on today. So I'm gonna run a little promo video. There's so much I can say about this gentleman, but I think it will probably be better that you see him in action, because I don't think what I have to say would do justice to what you would see from what I'm getting ready to show you here. So without further ado. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. AJ Ghent. What's going on, bro?
Hey, man, how you feeling, man?
Man. How you feeling?
I like that intro. I feel good. I like that.
It's about you.
Oh,
It is really about you, man. I'm so. First of all, thank you for agreeing to be my first guest on Dante's Harmony, man.
I'm happy. I'm excited to be here. It's been a long time coming, so
It really
I
has.
know
It really
gonna
has. And I finally got you here.
Yeah,
AJ
man.
Man,
But you have to
listen.
be a part of something great, you know.
Man, and it's good to be a part of something too, and a part of somebody that we share legacy with, man. You know, I can talk days about your family, and
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start, but I'll just start here. You mentioned and I read it in your bio, and this I'm just going off my dome right now. Being a part of Henry Nelson's legacy, and being a part of a sacred steel player that all of the musicians really mimic. I don't care who it is, you know, young or old, new beginner, playing for 50 years, 60 years. There's something in us that has a legacy or has some type of remembrance in our style of playing that resembles Henry Nelson. And as a youngster, growing up with him, my mom told me a story, because when W.L. Nelson and Bishop, even J.W. Nelson would come, they would stay at my grandmother's house. So they
Wow.
stay at my grandmother's house, right? My mom said I was like 2, 3 years old in the kitchen with the pots and pans drumming. That's where the drum thing started. Okay. So I'm in the kitchen, I'm jamming, and my mom, the story goes that Henry Nelson was the one who came to me and picked me up, and he started he grabbed my hands and just started like rubbing them and anointing them. And my mom's and
Wow.
he came to my mom and was like,
Hey.
he's gonna
Yeah.
be special. He Gwen, he's gonna be special. He's gonna be special. And she said he just started rubbing my hands, and I was like, Mom, why you never told me this story? So you know, I'm bugging, you know, 'cause, you know,
Hey.
we hear it, we playing this
You
stuff,
got it.
but when she tells me this, and I'm like, wait a minute, really? So I don't
Listen,
remember that
everybody
part.
can say that. That's for sure.
Say that again. Say that again, AJ.
Wow. I said everybody can't say that one. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you got an opportunity of a lifetime there, man. You got anointed by the man. You know what I'm saying? So that's wow.
And that's what I said.
Wow.
That's what I said. So
Yeah.
I was it was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise, but it was also, you know, just something like I revered. Like that was a moment. So
Yeah.
you know, how can one of the questions I want to start by asking you, first of all, how are you? How you doing?
Say one more
How are
time.
you doing?
How am I doing?
Yes.
Listen. I'm lovely, man. You know, I have no complaints whatsoever. There's so much in life that we can complain about, but I don't think we realize being able to have life, health, and strength, even through the mess, right? I don't think how we don't realize how I don't think we realize how blessed we really are. So to complain, it's really being ungrateful. So
Yeah.
I'm lovely. I'm beautiful.
That's
I feel great.
that's
I
awesome.
mean, so
That's awesome. That's awesome.
blessed by the best. How
That's
about
right.
that?
Blessed by the best. So we started talking.
Yeah,
I
man.
started talking about your grandfather, and of course, that being my first interaction, being 2, 3 years old, and then growing up as a drummer, playing drums with him, and being able to say that I actually played with Henry Nelson, the great Henry Nelson. AJ Gent, third generation royalty, sacred steel royalty. How was that growing up, man? You had the best of the best.
And here's the thing, right? And man, because many people don't, very few do.
Repeat that one more time. Say
I
that one
think
more
for
time.
me, huh?
Repeat that last part one more time.
So many people don't know, right? But I growing up, I was never. I probably met my grandfather maybe a few times that I can remember.
Wow.
Right. Okay. So the experience for me was a lot different than people may may realize, and so I have to I find myself enjoying the stories that I hear. Now, of course, I do remember him coming around and different things of that nature. But to be able to have the experiences that most have, I couldn't. That's that's the honest truth. Yeah. So, but it's a blessing to be able to hear about just the impact that he had, and I think it amazes me, just the sounds and just the influence that he had. It even on myself, obviously, but it definitely was a different journey than most know or could believe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then one of the things that we know, and I in reading your bio and even just knowing you, you have a great uncle in Willie Eason, who was a pioneer of the music. I mean that within itself is commendable. To know that you come from that lineage, and then your father, Arbery Gent, who's such a phenom and such an awesome musician. What was it like, growing up and just in he's such, when I listen to you, I'm listening to your dad, I'm listening to Henry Nelson, I'm listening to Willie Eason, all in one.
Well, I tell you what, right? Here's an interesting story that folks don't know, right?
Okay.
So, my grandfather didn't teach my dad, and my dad didn't teach me. And so, I don't know if it's a generational thing or what, and then the same thing, as far as my Uncle Willie, I don't even know how that dynamic worked, with him actually sitting down and showing my grandfather different things. But with that being said, it's interesting because to really play and be told for many years, man, like, I hear your grandfather, I hear your dad. For me, it's amazing because typically you would think, come from a place of, man, they had to be sitting down and showing you stuff, or you had to be like around it all the time. And the answer is no. The answer is no. I learned honestly how to play from a Sacred Skill CD.
Get out of here. Which one?
I learned how to play from it was the very first one. The very first one with Glenn, of course, my Uncle Willie, my grandfather, my dad, Sonny Treadway. It was that very first, the African American Sacred Steel Tradition. I think that's what it was called. But that's the one I learned, and I literally, I learned how to play from that. And I think what happened was I discovered an ability that I had. And to this day, it's not to jump, but to this day, I think it's how I'm able to come up with so many different melodies and just things. I had the gift of just kind of memorizing just certain things, just certain melodies, and I caught on all the way to the hand movements. I was just hearing it, and so and that's how I learned how to play. I started on this. It was a little beat up lap steel that I had, man, and I used a AA battery because I didn't have a slide. Listen, man, I had bare minimum
stories.
It was definitely not what what you would prefer to start out with. Right.
Wow.
But yeah, man.
And we have some stories about some bars and different things that we used when we ran out of real estate. Let me tell you. C batteries, double A batteries.
Yes, it gets rough. And then after a while, you realize, okay, well, this clearly can't be the right way. You're just buying double A batteries and over and over. And, I just, I got to a point where, I got my first slide, my first steel bar, and I was playing on a little practice amp, man. So, and I think I can appreciate the story and how it, came about, even with me playing, because it's the reason why if many people have the question, man, how do you play like this or like that? It's because, there was really nobody around me, saying, do it this way, not that way, do it this way. So I had the opportunity to really, not only be influenced by my family, but just so, many other musicians and artists in the world today.
Wow. Man, and, when I started the broadcast and we talk about so many different artists, that's the one thing you and I have in common, is that you and I played with Colonel Bruce Hampton.
Yeah.
The Colonel. Man, listen, we story for days. I see that. I know where it's coming from, but I called him the prophet. I called him a prophet because he was able to see certain things, and I was just like, okay, he's tapping into something I don't even think he realized he has. But he was he was so instrumental. And I had to go back because he called me at a time when I was, doing certain things, and he wanted me to go on a road with him, and I was like, okay, let's do it, And I was able to. He said, you go on the tour list, and you, whatever you can do, you check it off and you win.
Yeah.
He was that guy. So I didn't know until I saw him when we did our first. I said, I remember you. He would come to Maddie's. Maddie's was a spot that I was doing.
Wow.
Like late 2000s, 2008, 2009. And it's no longer up. But Maddie's was like my little spot. It was where I was doing my residence. And every weekend we would light up that little corner, man. It was a little barbecue spot. That's where we got the name Barbecue Church.
Wow.
From Maddie's. He came several times. And once he played with me. And here's a crazy thing, AJ. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was. He was a friend of the guitar players. And he said, Colonel Bruce Hampton is here. I said, oh, okay. Tell him to come up. See, he said he has his guitar. I said, tell him to come up. And he came. And he was listen, he talked about you. He talked about the music. He was just so in love. He said the first time he heard the Campbell Brothers is when he was introduced to sacred steel music. So the first time he heard the Campbell Brothers, he was he lost it.
Yeah.
He just completely lost it. So he had to go find their CD, find the music, and was like, where are these guys from? But Colonel Bruce, man.
Wow. The crazy thing is, man, when I first moved to Atlanta, I was going to every open jam that was out there. And around that time, it was still popular, right? Like you still had a few jams in different areas. Atlanta was just hot still, and versus now you can't find anything like that. But at the time, I would go to all of them, and so I ended up going to Bella's Pizzeria. And I ran into, they were having a jam there, and I ran into Todd Smalley, a bass player for JJ Graham Mofro.
Wow.
And Todd was just like, at the time, he was like, after he heard me play, he was like, hey man, the Colonel is going to want you to play with him. And I look at him like, who the heck is the Colonel? And if he's paying, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he gave him my phone number, and so I forgot about it, right? And so sometime after, a random, I get a random phone call, and somebody, picks up and they're like, with a real deep voice. Hello. I'm like, who is this? And it was him. It was Colonel Bruce. And so he just invited me out to a show. And, he invited me out to the show. And I found myself going to the show. I mean, playing at it was Shorty's Pizzeria that I was playing at.
Okay.
That he invited me out to. So yeah, Bella's that I met Todd Small, and then Colonel invited me to Shorty's Pizzeria. Okay. All these pizza places, right? And so I didn't know who he was. I'd never seen him. And I went inside. Me and my wife, we went inside and ate, and the whole time, he's sitting next to me, right? He's sitting next to us, and we're trying to figure out, like, all right, man, we've been here for over an hour. We done ate some food and all of that. Like, where this guy is?
Right.
And they call him up to the stage, and here he comes waddling, almost flipping over chairs. He's real clumsy. Flipping over chairs and all kind of crazy stuff, man. But long story short, man, I was playing with him from that point on for about a solid year. It was just crazy solid year. Wow. And that's kind of, he helped me kind of get my feet wet in Atlanta.
Wow.
He kind of helped that. So
he's that guy. He was that guy. He was that guy. He was very influential into getting a lot of musicians who nobody really knew on the stage or on a platform. Like, that was his thing. He just and he probably did the same thing to you. If you notice, Colonel Bruce he never sat front center stage.
Right.
He was always right. He was always like stage left or stage right.
Exactly. He was never, exactly.
He highlighted us.
Yep.
He highlighted us. So I thought that was
and the crazy part though, man, is he, to be honest with you, he was so, if this makes any sense, and you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. He was very church-like. And you calling him, prophet, all he's very church-like, because what happens is, and this is why I just kind of, if you were still player, or any musician from the church, you could appreciate playing with him, because there was no rehearsals, right?
None.
None. No rehearsals. And when you got on stage, it literally was, it was the key elements from church, watch, listen, and make sure you tuned up and know what you're going to do, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's really all it was. There was nothing else. Yeah. It was just kind of just go for it, because he was jam. And so but he's definitely missed. He's definitely missed. You definitely have to take advantage, man, and appreciate the times that we have, man, with people today, man, because once they're gone, they're gone. And so he left, such a great legacy, though, man. So, but that's nobody else, would understand that, but you, right?
There will only be one Colonel Bruce.
That's it.
And
that's it, man. That's it.
Definitely one of a kind. I really. There's certain people that I'm like you, come from a musical family, but the funny thing is that there weren't a lot of family members who just sat down and taught me how to play or how to actually navigate instruments. I may have gotten a lesson here, a lesson there, but then I took it and just ran with it because it was just in me to just do it.
Exactly.
So the interesting that is so interesting to know. But to have somebody like him in our life to push us, it was different.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, even to the point of me, it's a few videos out there that that I ain't the most proud of, but they're out there. It is what it is. You influence from, I mean, you remember, man, we used to even go out there to the jam at Peachtree, man.
Oh yeah.
I did all kind of crazy stuff, man. It was.
Listen.
Wow.
To be with Colonel Bruce is to be with Colonel Bruce, and whatever we did is whatever we did.
What happened stays there, right?
But he was definitely one of a kind, and everything you said about the musicianship, though, the aspect of listening. It was like church. It really was. There were no rehearsals. I remember the first, and it wasn't a one of those small clubs or small arenas. We were doing a big festival.
Yep.
And I was like, is there a set list or is there a song list that I should be listening to? And I'm like calling like a week in advance, right? And he's like, no, we don't believe in that.
No.
Okay. He said, you already know the music. You're good. Just show up.
Yeah, just show up to play.
Yeah,
ain't no.
So
there's no set list. Yeah.
None of that. So
not at all, man.
Yeah. It was very different, but I learned so much, and I'm really grateful for him giving both of us that platform, and especially like you said, here in Atlanta, the music scene is really hot, it's really big, and to get put on, I was able to connect with so many musicians like Joey Somerville, who I'm currently with now, and it was just a door that was just open for me, and it was that was amazing. That's amazing for me.
Beautiful moment.
So there are other artists, man, that you've actually been able to not only grace a stage with, but record and let's not even talk about your HBO anthem that hit the playlist for Game of Thrones. I mean, my goodness, that was one of the hottest series, man. Come on. Talk about that power.
I got to make a disclaimer because I'm almost embarrassed to say, but I didn't know about the show.
Get out!
I did not know. I'm telling you, I might get clowned for that. I had no idea. So when it came in, I was like,
for those of you all that are listening, don't be hard on him. He didn't know. He didn't know.
I had no idea. And this was like during the time, man, where my wife was pregnant.
Wow.
I had so much happening. Everything was just like. But one may say that's still not a good enough excuse, AJ. But I didn't know. So when it came in, I was like, my expression was like, okay, cool.
Right.
What's that? And so after I did my research and I looked at it and I started like, okay, that's it was a really, really big deal, man. And I was so honored, man. It was a blessing to even have the opportunity, to actually play a part in that, especially for somebody coming from little old Fort Pierce, Florida, and I can actually say, well, I wrote, produced, and the actual song that I used, and it was I need to go back though and my theories from A to Z. So.
Right.
Be on top of it.
Right. But that's to be commended. I mean, to even have the opportunity to be able to do that, and so many people do watch that series, and to even have the experience of getting your music on that type of platform. It's being in a pandemic right now. That's one of the things that's really happening for a lot of musicians and for a lot of singers and a lot of writers and producers. They're able to get their music into TV, movies. You look at all these different companies like Netflix, your Amazon, with their movie Prime, and just so many other outlets that are streaming, BT Plus, so many outlets that are streaming shows and streaming. There's always music. There's work, so that's commendable, man, when you can find your way on something that you didn't even know is as strong as it was, and it still hit. It works, man, and you definitely thankful, during the pandemic and stuff like that. That's for sure. Listen, and it's needed.
Yes.
So man, listen, there's so much, man, we could talk about, and I wanna definitely talk about your latest project that you have out. AJ Gent presents, Let the Guitar Sing live at the American Sushi. Man, how did that project come to be, and how's it doing?
I didn't. After I recorded the Neo Blues project, right, and that was the project that my song Power got featured on the Game of Thrones. After that, I was just kind of like, I wanted to do something different, and but I couldn't. I was touring so much at the time, so just didn't have time. And I started very early, man. I started to record like, just different songs and get into those details, but. So at the position that I'm in, at that particular time, at the age I am now, I could have got to a point where I wanted something different. I didn't want to be in the studio,
right?
Just doing that thing, right. And so my wife actually was just like, well, why don't you go live, recording studio, with no anything, and just record.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, let's just do that. And that's literally what I did. It was a one take type situation.
Wow.
I wanted it to be raw. No beautiful this, no beautiful mix, no nothing. I just wanted to be raw. I wanted to be church in a way, back old school, just and that's how the project came about, and we captured some pretty I think some pretty great moments, and from there I kind of started coining the whole singing guitar phrase, and it just went from there. And
you just talked into something I was just
everything kind of took off,
Yeah, that you just talked yourself into something I was actually going to ask you, because singing guitar vibe now is register. You that's your thing, and hey, listen, man, I'm excited, and for those of you all that are listening to us, when you have something that is uniquely yours, trademark it, register it, because that is your brand, that is your thing, that is what represents who you are, man. I'm proud of you for doing that. So when you talk about that project, and then you're talking about, that's how things started to come about with the whole singing guitar vibe.
Yeah. And really right before that, there was a video that I did that went viral, and I just and I wasn't, with that viral stuff, you just never know. You never know what can go viral. So you definitely got to be careful what you put out there. That's for sure. If you don't want something crazy going viral. But I had a moment for an album release for the actual Neo Blues project.
Okay.
And the video went viral, and so people kind of started looking for that sound, and so once I recorded live in American Sushi, Let the Guitar Sing. When I recorded that, it was just kind of, it was the sound that I was going for, but it was really the style that I was playing, and so everything was kind of like, mocking the, make it sing, make it sing, make it sing, and until recently, I guess I didn't realize that over in I believe it's I want to say if it's in Afghanistan, they call me the singing guitar man.
Wow.
But it got to a point where it grew, and it wasn't something that I was, working towards directly. And that's the thing, man. I think, when we are just diligently doing work, diligently following your heart, and doing what's natural inside, just don't worry about, who's gonna see you, and the opportunity you're gonna get, it will come. Trust me, and I wasn't looking for any of that, and it just came. It just came with a video going viral, and then everything, from there. So, but I coined the phrase, let the guitar, singing guitar vibes, if you will, and
that's dope,
and that's kind of. That's the thing now. Even though sometimes I'll be trying to kind of like, all right, let me say something else. Let me coin another phrase. It don't work like that.
it's totally. When I say
but yeah, man, it's definitely been a big journey.
That's totally dope. I love it. I love it. And every time I see something that comes across, and let me show them a little bit about what went viral a little bit here.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
I think that was the one.
Yeah. Well, that was, Yeah. Lord have mercy. Some things, you already know, man. You know those perfect moments, man, when you just hitting every note right, and it's kind of like, man, I wish I could do it again.
Listen, man, it sounded what he was able to do with that. What you did.
That was the crazy part, because I was like, man, like, how do you, I don't, obviously if you follow, Kevin, like, okay, well, he takes videos, right, and he's not in the room with you, obviously, but he puts this thing on. So I heard it, I was like, whoa, like, follow me like we sitting in the same room playing, so that was really dope, man. And that was one of them that went viral. After one, kind of started getting a lot of views, then, the more followers and people kind of start paying attention. And I woke up one morning and that was, my Instagram was just blowing up. I was like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of them, man, that kind of helped, once again, me be able to coin the phrase singing guitar vibes, man, and kind of be, and I let people know all the time, like, listen, man, I'm not the originator, right, of the sound. All I did was take, what I was, influenced by and what helped me so much get through, and I just put my style on top of it, I put my thing on top of it, and that, and as you see it in that video, man, I picked up the electric guitar because I love that sound of the electric guitar, regular standard guitar. I love the sound of it so much. Until I was like, okay, I gotta figure out how to make this thing sound like, lap steel, or, what I grew up, hearing in church. I gotta make it sound like that. And I'm still working at it. I ain't there yet, but I'm still working at it.
You're doing it. Let me tell you, you're doing it. And you're doing a great job at it, man. And there's so many people that so many people that I follow in the, from secular music to gospel. And they just love the sound. They love the, a lot of the people in comments, I look at them like, what is that thing he's playing, or what is that? Right. It's so funny to me because they don't know. That's a lap steel guitar. And we'll talk a little bit about a second, how you kind of transformed into your own style of, like you said, of playing, more of using a bottleneck slide and using a rhythm or a lead guitar, as we would call it, and using that and getting the same type of sound, but being able to, as you say, fly, and do AJ. You be able to fly and do AJ the way you do AJ. Yeah. That, man, listen, it's different. And what here's the encouraging thing. Not only to encourage you to keep pressing, but for a lot of the musicians that are out there, stop copying everything you see somebody else do. Do you? There's a saying that I use often. Do you? Everyone else is taken. Do you?
Yes.
Everyone else is taken. And let me tell you, man, when I saw you do that, I was like, okay, that works.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, man, it literally came naturally. I was, even from what you just said, like I wasn't growing up in the church, right? Because I'm the late one that comes in, I'm a late bloomer, right? So I came in after really all the greatness wasn't even around as much, right? Everybody was kind of like scattered. And so, and I played, enough years and, in the church, but it got to a point where, like I said earlier, I didn't have anybody kind of telling me, do it this way, you know, and don't do it that way. So I was always open to just exploring and figuring things out. And like I said, I fell in love with the sound of like a Strat, you know, in the fourth position, man, just going in second position. I love the sound of, you know, second position. You know, but I just fell in love with that sound. I was like, man, why haven't we been putting slide to that? You know what I'm saying? Or steal that. And so, and I went through a lot of, you know, customized guitars and all of that. And I got to a point where I was like, you know what? You know, I'm just gonna get a standard guitar and I'm gonna, you know, string it up and try to get them sounds, man. And the first person I actually told that I was gonna do that was I told Bruce Hampton that, believe it or not, that I was gonna do it. And I was talking to who else? I was talking to Derek Trucks. I was talking to Trucks.
Okay.
And then I told him I was gonna do that. And you know, and
it worked.
It worked out, man. And you know, it just worked out. You know, but like I said, I'm still trying to get it together. I've gotten to a point now, man, where I'm not lifting the strings on it. So everything is standard now. So that's a whole other challenge in itself. But you know, it's so many great musicians out there, and you can't be in a box, man. You just kind of have to grow and do your thing, you know.
And be you and be original, doing you. And you've done that, man. You've not only stayed true to the sound and true to your style, but you've innovated it, man. You've taken it and just made it singing guitar vibes, you know. Yeah. And that's what it is. And man, that's to be commended. That's to be commended.
You know, it definitely goes back to, like you said, you know, just man, follow your heart, do what you do. You know, the uniqueness that we need in this world today, man, is you know, it's just so necessary. Everybody has to, you know, kind of do it and bring your influence to the table, right?
Absolutely.
But we need you to be you, man. You know,
it's important.
To make a better world.
It's very important, man. We really do. And everyone needs to bring what it is they have to the table uniquely. But man, listen, we can keep talking on and on and on. I am just happy that you are here with me, and you are my first guest on Dante's Harmony. And man, I'm so proud of the work that you're doing. And if I don't see you all often, and I don't tell you enough, man, I am proud of what you're doing, and I'm proud of how you do it, and proud of how you are repping not only yourself, your family, and just your style of music, man. I was so happy recently. We were able to see each other at a local festival here in Atlanta, and I was able to see you live, and it was like a little reunion, you know.
Yes.
So it was good, man, and you ripped it, man. You ripped it up.
I appreciate it, man. It was hot that day. I was sweating like crazy.
It was blazing. We really had a good time. We really had a good time. Man. So are you playing? Are you touring? I know things are kind of shut down, and you know, people are just limited with certain venues seating.
I have a few more shows. I don't know if they are going to happen, but I'll be in Illinois. I'll be in Champaign this weekend.
Okay.
So doing a show at the university there. So, but other than that, man, you know, I know I actually been in Alpharetta to for a festival in October. But again, it's kind of iffy. You know, it's you know, I had a show that had to cancel that I found out even today, man. So it's kind of you don't know, man. It's definitely a weird time, you know. And so, but the beauty is I've been able to still make progress, man. You know, and so that's a plus. You know, I'm and that's why I said earlier, you know, it's so much that you can complain about, but why do that? Take the moment, take the time, take the opportunity, and grow. You know, use all the negative and make it into a positive. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been doing. So yeah, I got a couple shows coming.
Well, listen, man, and if you're in those areas that he just talked about in Illinois and I think you said Alpharetta.
And brother, right here in Georgia.
Right here in Georgia. You all come support him. Go to his website. You want to give him your website, AJ?
www. It's at www.ajgent.com. And you see all kind of, all kind of, crazy stuff. Well, good stuff. I shouldn't say crazy stuff. All the good stuff I got going on. Because it's a lot of stuff. We are definitely into the world of being entrepreneurs. So we have a lot of things going on.
That's right. So you all check them out. www.ajgent.com. For some touring information, tour dates, and things that's coming up. I'm so looking forward to some of the things that you're doing, man, and you're headed in the right direction, man. I'm really proud of you, and like I said, everything that you're doing is to be commended. So there are a lot of people that are going to listen to this podcast and even to this replay, and I really love to encourage young musicians, young artists, young entrepreneurs who are actually trying, even older entrepreneurs, people who are just trying to start over or do it again or do it right or do it better. Is there some advice or something that you want to leave with them to encourage them to excel in your own way?
Yeah, stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself. You're gonna. The reality is, you already know to work hard, right? You already know to, if you love something, give it your all. But you're gonna come to a place in life where it's time to make decisions, right?
Right.
Make sure those decisions represent who you are.
Wow.
And in that, you'll be successful. That's success. Nothing else is. Staying true to yourself is successful. Period.
Wow. Stay true to yourself. What good advice. What good advice. That is staying true to yourself. Man, I don't know how to thank you enough for not only joining me on my first podcast and my first live here on YouTube. Man.
Yeah.
This is all things good, man.
Listen, we can talk all day, man. I enjoy it. This is beautiful, man. I'm glad you're doing this.
And shout out to your family, Tiffany Gent, your wife Marla. They're on here giving you all hearts and just so much love out here, man. Shout out to them. Just beautiful people.
Hey.
Beautiful people.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Now we probably get them on or something, man. And do a whole family affair or something.
We have to. Man. You'll do that. We have to do that. We have to do that. Yeah. We'll do a show and have both of them, all three of you guys on, and just have some fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And again, this is what you're doing here is excellent, by the way, man. So you should be commended for this. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
So and it gives a lot of us, a reason to be able to speak, man, to share love and and help one another. So this is beautiful.
Thank you, man. Beautiful. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I want to use this platform to not only expose hidden talent, but people that someone may not know, to just give outlet. Shout out to the person that did my shirt, Be Legendary.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Listen, Tamika Murphy. She did that.
I like that. Yeah.
So I mean, this is the stuff that I'm talking about, and supporting brands, supporting entrepreneurs who are out here making it happen.
Yeah.
She has a line called Be Apparel. Be Apparel. So I'm definitely gonna be shouting her out. She sent me some awesome T-shirts, and I'm definitely gonna be repping them on the podcast and talking about it, because I want people to blow her spot up and support what she's doing. So shout out to you, Tamika, and what you're doing with Be Apparel. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. But man, I'm proud of you. You gonna play us out? You gonna play a little something?
You want to play something?
Listen, go ahead, get yourself set up. If you need to do that, and I'm gonna play a quick video, another video of you, and then I'll just come back and let you play us out. I am so happy
All right.
for
Okay.
everyone. So happy for everyone that has joined us here today on my very first podcast. I'm so excited with my guest AJ, who is setting up, getting ready to blaze before we get ready to leave today. I'm so excited about future guests that I have coming up. We're going to be talking all things music, all things mentoring, all things motivation, and even things that deal with domestic violence and things of that nature. We're going to be really delving into areas and things that need to be dealt with and need to be talked about and for us to give light to. So I'm excited that you all are here and that you join me today. And special recognition to my guest on today, Mr. AJ Ghent, who's going to take us out in his own way. You ready, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna play something real quick. I'm gonna do something. Hopefully you can hear me good, man.
Yes, we
Hopefully
can.
the sound is pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. AJ Ghent. Thank you,
For
bro.
all mistakes, love.
Thank you, bro. I needed that. Thank you
I
so much.
appreciate
And thank
that.
you for everyone that joined us on today on my first podcast, Dante's Harmony. Tune in next week and you'll be featured with another special guest. Again, thank you all for joining. Special thanks to AJ Ghent for joining me on my very first podcast and YouTube live video. Thank you, man. I love
Yes,
you.
sir.
You all go support
you,
him.
Love you, man.
www.ajgent.com. You will be blessed. I promise you. Thank you all again. Love you, bro.
Awesome. Love you, man. Thank you.